Hey guys, I'm curious. I get a lot of flat earther comments. I'm curious, why is there no proof of flat earth? Isn't that kind of weird? But there's one thing you can do yourself. Okay, don't get a Nikon P900 zoom camera. Get a high-powered optical telescope, refraction telescope, and look at the stars. Look at the planets in space. There's a thing called sun analemma, and it's where the sun makes a figure-8 pattern in the sky because of our elliptical pattern around it in our orbit. The eccentricity of our orbit. A thing called retrograde motion. As we're spinning and the other planets are spinning, they seem to loop across the sky because they're going in circles. They're looping around. And Mars and Mercury both do this. They have a retrograde pattern. Look it up. Look it up for yourself. You don't need to believe school books, even though they don't tell lies. They tell perfectly good knowledge that you could verify as truth yourself. You don't have to believe flat earth videos. Do your own fucking experiments. Okay, do sun analemma, retrograde motion. Okay, another thing, get a telescope. Look at the planets in space. Flat earthers say that planets are just out of focus blobs. They're actually souls. They're actually water, whatever they say. Get a telescope and look for yourself. If you haven't seen it for yourself, if someone you know hasn't seen it for yourself, then how can you trust it? No one's been to the edge. And I talked to a flat earther recently who said, oh, Antarctica is actually just a big ice wall. How do you know? Have you been there? I've seen documentaries, totally unrelated to flat earth, totally unrelated. It's about a doctor who funded a journey to Antarctica to study how the ice melted and the different layers of the ice and how the seasons, summer, winter, how it changes the ice. And it had nothing to do with flat earth, and it completely disproved flat earth because it showed satellite images of Antarctica while he was there. Well, it shows a little speck of him right there walking around the ice, zoomed in from a satellite. The ISS is another way that you can prove for yourself the earth is not flat. In addition to the fact that there's flags on the moon, which proves that we've been to the moon, there's also the ISS, the International Space Station. Get a telescope, look on a website where the ISS is. Point it in that direction, you'll see the ISS. You'll see the International Space Station. And the ISS has pictures and video streaming from it live as well as pictures from the past. The ISS completely disproves flat earth. And people say, oh, satellites are fake, it's just ground-based. How do you know? You don't know. You haven't looked in for yourself. It's not just ground-based ground-based antennas. Just because the ground-based antennas exist does not mean satellites don't exist. You guys need to do your own fucking research. You guys aren't doing that. Do your own research. Look into it yourself. Mark Sargent always says, look into flat earth. Nathan Thompson, research flat earth. I'm telling you guys, research flat earth so you know how fucking stupid it is. Look into it yourself. Look at pictures yourself. Take pictures yourself. Get satellite images yourself. I have a friend, actually made a video about this a couple months ago. I have a friend who works for Boeing. And Boeing, I didn't know this, does outsourced third-party labor for NASA. My friend who works at Boeing actually programs satellites because satellites take the weather formations and then give them to the weather channels so they can predict the weather for the week because of the movements of the air and the speed of the winds and the temperature of the winds and how the air moves around and the air in the middle of the ocean that gets big whirlwinds and tornadoes in the middle of the ocean that come onto land. Those things all prove the earth is a globe. And satellite technicians do this. Satellite technicians program satellites. Those same satellites have pictures of the curvature of the spin of the earth. So you can't see that the earth is flat and motionless if you haven't seen it for yourself. Because the people who do see it for themselves, with privately funded money, publicly funded money, government money, whatever, whether it's government or not, it does not matter. You can prove it yourself. So research flat earth and research globe earth. This has been Andrew. I'm with the Globe Earth Society. I'm a paid shill. And I'm here to disprove flat earth. You guys will believe anything, I swear.